Dune Part 2 is currently showing in cinemas, and I went to see it, and I thought it was okay. This is going to be a very controversial video, but I thought, why don't we run down the top 5 reasons not to watch Dune Part 2, because I've seen so many people absolutely love this movie, and I do get why people love this movie, but I thought, let's see how controversial my takes could be, and I want you guys to respond to them down below in the comments. So this is 5 reasons why you should not watch Dune Part 2, and you can very much disagree with me, but before we go any further, please make sure that you've clicked that red subscribe button down below and have your notifications turned on. So to start with, my first and probably biggest controversial take was I didn't like Timothée Chalamet's acting. I'm sorry, I've said it, I thought it was slightly overrated. I just think this is such a really strong cast that I think Chalamet, unfortunately, wasn't the one who shone out to me, and unfortunately his other cast members outshone him. I think Chalamet is a great actor in other films, but I don't think in the Dune series he's that amazing, and I especially thought in this one, at least in the first one, he had a bit more variety. In this one, I didn't get it. He was just randomly quiet and then randomly started shouting at moments, and it just made him really unbelievable. I didn't really believe his character intentions that much, and I just didn't think he was that great of an actor in this movie. I think he's a good actor in other things, not in this film. I don't think I could be any better than him. I'm not an actor. It's not what I'm saying. I just think he's a bit overrated. Second reason is it's very, very long. Now, this could be a positive for some people, and I suppose if you've watched the first Dune, you would know that these films are really, really long. But for me, I just think it was almost too long, to the point where a lot of this could be sped up and we could get a lot more plot points. I think the problem with this film and the way it's shot and directed, I think it's a really cool stylistic choice, but I think films do not need to be this long. Like, unless they're like an Avengers Endgame level event where it's basically a huge grand finale, they don't need to be 3 hours long. It's too long, and there were loads of points where I almost started falling asleep or just got really bored because it's too long. Reason not to watch it. Third reason, Florence Pugh didn't really have much to do, and I think it's such a shame because the trailers hyped up Florence Pugh. Looked like she was in all of the press releases, and I find it really funny because in so much of the press releases, it's Zendaya and Florence Pugh literally becoming friends over the press release because they were barely on set together, and that's because Florence Pugh is barely in this film. I do think she'll play a much bigger role in the third part. However, in this film, she was barely in it, and it's such a shame because I was really excited to see what she could bring to the cast. And unfortunately, apart from the fact that she ends up stealing Timothée Chalamet's character at the end of the film, nothing really much happened with her, so it's a bit of a shame. Fourth reason is you have to pay attention. Now again, this is probably just a personal choice, but if you're the type of person who can't pay attention to films or can't understand all of the canon that you have to understand within a few minutes, you're going to struggle watching this film. I went watching this film with a group of friends, and loads of people came out of the film not understanding what on earth had happened. The only person who really understood everything is someone who is really invested in the lore and everything, and if you're invested in that, that's great. This is a perfect film for you. If you're just a casual viewer who's came from the first film to watch this one, it's a lot to pay attention to, and sometimes that can be a turn-off. Sometimes we just want to escape and not use our brain. So for that reason, I'm going to say it's a reason not to watch it. And for my fifth reason, I'm going to have to say the climax wasn't that amazing compared to the first film. I still think it was a great ending, but I do think the only thing that I can really properly remember from the ending is when Timothée Chalamet decided to go with Florence Pugh's character rather than Zendaya, and we get that big finale ending. I think that part is brilliant, but everything else about the climax just wasn't that exciting. I thought the end of Dune Part 1 was so much more exciting. All of the massive battles and everything, I thought that was incredible. This finale didn't feel really like a finale. It felt more like there should have been more, and I think that's the issue that I had with the reason why it was so long. It felt like there could be so much more told in this 3 hours that there just wasn't told, and it's because they're wanting to expand this out into such a huge, long franchise that I don't think it's as effective. And so for that reason, I didn't think the climax or the ending was really that powerful compared to how the first one hit. So that's my 5 reasons as to why not to watch Dune Part 2. I did actually really enjoy this film. I thought it was really good, but I thought, let's see what are the most controversial takes I could think as to why I might have not really liked it as much. I definitely preferred the first film. Let me know what you guys thought about this. Do you agree with my takes or not? And what did you think about the second film? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. And as always, we've been here on Gates of Theories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.